There we go. I had to unmute my mic.
There we go.
Oh god. Oh god, let's not have it fucking looping. Alright. We gotta go on. So yeah. We have a little visual novel tonight. I was actually gonna stream earlier than this, but I forgot there was a concert thing going on. So yeah. Watched most of that before I started. Anyway, hang on. If you hear weird sounds, I'm taking off my wrist brace. There we go. This will be easier to use my mouse without it. Can't imagine I'll hurt myself further from a fucking mouse. Oh, it already hurts. Okay. Yeah, but, so we're playing a game. It is called It Paints Me, and it is a very dark game, from what I can tell. I haven't played it before, I haven't seen anything about it, but it has a lot of trigger warnings on it, which are in chat. It should have displayed right before this, but I'll read them out again. It contains violence, death, body horror, chronic illness, grief, dysfunctional relationships, and that's it. So yeah, stuff like that bothers you, I don't recommend staying through this game. But other than that, I'd say we're probably... My phone's telling me it's dying. I'd say we're probably good to play. Let me close Spotify. Let's see, switch you over here. There we go. I'm gonna make this full screen. Alright, I think it's working. Okay, here we go. I think there's partial voice acting in this, so hopefully I don't have to make up people's voices. I don't see any settings, so we're just gonna go with this. Every night I find myself alone in the studio, curtains drawn tight, my neat row of paints, palette, and brushes in the same place on the drawer by the easel. The canvas upon it sits, as always, unfinished. Marie's half-painted face frozen in silent song. Oh, that's pretty. It's laid out as it always is when I awaken here. Marie is nowhere to be found. She must still be at the theater. Even when the curtains fall and the stage lights dim, the night is forever young to its star sopranos. I would always wait outside her dressing room, roses in hand, scores of other bright-eyed admirers spilling through the halls, though she alone was mine, and I was hers. It's cold, bittery cold tonight, but still I draw the curtains and open the windows wide. There's a stench in the room, deep and damp and sickly sweet, that I can't ever seem to be rid of. Besides that, the fumes from the linseed oil make my head spin. Like every night, I measure out my paints, arranging small dabs of color on my palette from lightest to darkest. Titanium white and cadmium yellow to corpse brown and lamp black. I wet my brush with oil and gently start mixing the pigments. It feels just a little bit like magic, watching them swirl and mix, forming new colors from old. Her hair. I blend a dark, deep red on my palette as I envision her hair in my mind's eye. Marie rarely ever bound her locks in fashionable plaits or ringlets, not even on our wedding day. Oh, they're married. I remember how her glossy black waves almost shimmered beneath her veil. The color on my palette is as dull as mud. I sighed and blended it into the background instead. I apply my paint with a generous dab of oil, but it seems I didn't have to. The canvas is still wet from last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background countless times. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight, my muse nowhere in sight, is an understatement, of course. But lately, these nightly hours are the only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes.
Spirits nuts.
I had joked that the pain that forced me away from the tailor's shop meant I could finally return to my paintings at the very least. But I was never good at humor. Marie had sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly, her voice that could charm stone to life.
Oh, Sam, don't worry. I have roles lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably.
It hurt, a small part of it did. Beyond the physical, beyond the ailments, to seek her permission. To be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent, but crushingly unknown. Well, she had been. I was, and still am, nothing. But perhaps finally it would now be my turn to bring my vision to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damned much. Time passes and I still don't manage more than a few strokes. A small patch of dark over an already wet canvas. Or perhaps time hasn't passed at all. The broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the second has lain still, the world outside unchanging, and I, the only thing that moves. Have I moved? Is repeating the same brushstrokes like clockwork all movement? I shiver and sigh. Perhaps sleep would be a better endeavor. Perhaps the next night will meet more success. I stand, setting aside my paints and palette, and slowly moved to shut the windows. I stop. There, out in the front garden, barely lit by street lamp, stands a figure that can only be Marie. She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad-shouldered, then she laughs, a beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him before he makes his reluctant exit on a carriage stopped by the gate. For a moment, I don't know what to think. A friend, a co-star perhaps, that amiable tenor that she mentioned every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Marie's social circle had always eclipsed my own. It must be, but why would he come to our home? Why would she laugh that way? In the garden, in the midst of walking to the front door, humming to herself, Marie suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide, and she blinks as if shaking herself from a daze. I instinctively step back from the windows. Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Marie is finally home, and oh, I've missed her so. How could the first thing I think upon seeing my darling could be the worst thoughts my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I'll prepare Marie a pot of her favorite chamomile tea. I'll listen as she tells me of the nights, the theater, the thousand small antidotes that she never runs out of, and maybe, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me, like she used to. The house feels larger than it used to. Perhaps I was shut in the studio too long. Still, how could I so quickly become a stranger to my own home? The memories are fuzzy, the years blur together like a wash of oil colors. My mother and I, carrying our sparse luggage, stepping inside for the first time, my stepfather laughing, his elbows on the breakfast table chattering over something he'd read in the paper. Then hallt hallways and empty rooms. And myself welcoming my new bride to these solitary halls, hanging our newly taken portraits above the mantel. The walls are barren now. Why? I feel the walls in the dark, leaving sticky trails of paint behind, tracing the places where I used to hang. Oh, I don't know. Photos? The walls were laid bare, the pictures that hung on the pale wallpaper were gone, blurry gray photographs of my parents, myself as a boy, and Marie. Oh, so many pictures of Marie, each displayed, I don't know that word, in a filigree frame. Even our wedding photograph, the two of us dressed in fine clothes I'd sewn myself, smiling like fools while our picture was taken. For how could we wear solemn faces on such a joyous day? It, too, is gone. The pale wallpaper stands bare, stripped to its bone. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. As I walk, I pass the furniture my stepfather left me. The shelves and tables that always seemed so large and grand as a boy, now missing or mantled in thick white linen. They remind me of corpses on a hospital table, lying dead still, covered in sheets. Marie? I try to call out, but phlegm blocks my throat. I cough, long and drawn and wet, and then once more attempt to voice her name. Is he sick? I assume so. Marie? It slicks off my tongue like a serpent uncoiling. I had always loved her name, so tender and sweet, free of harsh syllables, Marie. It was a name like an impressionist fleur, painted in soft strokes with a fine oil brush. It was the greatest joy in the world to join my name to hers. Silence fills the halls, a long, drawn-out silence, a held breath. Finally, my darling answers.
Sam. Is this a dream?
I cough again, another long, wet trail dripping from my lips.
I don't know. It feels like a nightmare.
A nightmare? Jesus, how sick is he?
An awful, wretched nightmare.
What a horrible thing to see. What's going on? I need context. The sound? Can you not see her? I limped towards the sound of her voice, so musical, so lovely, even at the brink of tears. Don't cry, darling, I want to say, but thick, syrupy liquid fills my throat. No matter what troubles you, I am here. She stands at the edge of the staircase, shaking, a candlestick in her hand. The steps are sticky and wet. I inch carefully, practically at a crawl, not to slip. My darling lifts the candle as I approach, and the dark of the house, its flickering flame almost blinds me. Wait, what? Oh. I don't see the expression on her face as she screams. Okay. I'm guessing he's, like, really sick?
Marie? Where are you, my darling?
Is he blind? Wait, no, he said the candlelight blinded him. Every word feels like a dagger puncturing my throat. I limp down each hall, leaving a trail of steps that feel damp and heavy, slick and wet. I tried the door to our bedroom. No, Marie's room. I had started sleeping in the spare one when my coughing fits would wake her in the night. It was so cold. It was cold, so cold, alone, but my darling needed her rest. The knob is slick and hard to twist, but my hand slipping on the brass. Finally, I managed to push the door open. Though it's completely dark when I peer inside, I know it is empty. No warmth, no flesh, no sound of sweet breath within. I continue down the hall. I trudge, my steps heavy and wet, trying not to slip over the thick, slick surface.
Marie? What's wrong, darling? Please, come out. I don't understand.
So he's definitely, like, coughing up. I'm assuming blood, or just a lot of phlegm. And possibly disfigured somehow from illness. I don't know. What would make someone react like that? The shelves where the china and silverware were once neatly stacked now gape hollow. The walnut table is covered in a thick white sheet, the matching set of our chairs removed. I rest against the blanketed table. My hand leaves a rubbery smear. That's definitely blood. I rest against the blanketed table. My hand leaves a ruddy smear against the sheet. It must be more paint, though it's hard to make it out in the dark. No, I'm gonna say that's probably blood. I'd needed spectacles for quite some time, but Marie never liked the bookish type. Get the glasses, man. Fuck.
Marie!
I missed
Where
that.
are you?
History. What did that say? I continue on through the familiar yet unfamiliar house. My steps strained and slow, my breath short, sticky, wet. Return. There it is.
Oh, Marie! What? Won't you come to me?
I hear the front door slam shut. It must have been freezing cold out. Why has she gone to the garden? I tread to the sound with new urgency, uncaring at the sticky, wet floors, forgetting for just a moment the pain that snaps and burns through my flesh. Definitely, like, decaying to some degree. I reach for the oily, damp knob. I don't think it's oily. I think it's...
Sam, please.
Her voice rings from behind the door.
I don't understand, darling. Have I done something to upset you?
Her sobs echo loudly. I never thought an ugly sound could come from my darling's lips, but her words...
I love you, Sam. I always will. But I can't bear to see you like this. Please, I beg of you, return to where you came. You can't be here. I've moved on now.
Oh my god. Is he like... I don't understand. There's so many things that are running through my mind. What's going on? So, like, either he's metaphorically sick, and it's like they've broken up, but he's in her house for some reason. Or he's literally sick, and she's basically just left him because of it, which is horrible.
What? Return where? Dearest, you aren't making any sense.
Is his memories messed up a little bit too? Sorry about that gap. I have to refill my cup. Give me 1 moment. Okay. Put the lid on this and we'll continue. That's better. Okay, I think he read this.
Moved on. I'm your husband, Marie. What on earth is there to move on from?
Please remember, Sam.
Oh, his memories are messing with him.
You were ill. You were ill.
Is he dead?
For a long, long time. You never recovered.
Okay, so literally ill, definitely.
I know I'm unwell, Marie. But you said you were still. Are you leaving me? Because I can't care for you anymore? Is that it?
You left me.
What?
You're dead, Sam.
Oh, that kind of left.
You've been dead for more than a year.
So we're a zombie, basically?
If this is a joke, darling, it's a cruel one. Do you want me dead? Is that it? Am I better off dead to you?
Poor girl. My darling does nothing but sob behind the door. How quickly I regret my words. Oh, if only I could see her face, look into her eyes, reassure her, and see that she loves me still. I twist the knob with slick, oily hands.
No! Don't come out! Please! Don't come out!
No, let's let her go. Let's not force that open. I probably should have saved. Whoops.
Forgive me, Marie. I can see that you don't want to speak to me right now. But whenever you do, whatever this is about, I'll be waiting in the studio.
Dude. The poor girl. Oh shit, I forgot I'm supposed to be reading these. I leave the door. I leave my darling alone, sobbing in the garden. It's dark, so very dark, that dawn will soon paint that dim black sky. I retrace my slick, wet footsteps through the hall, up the staircase, one trudging damp step at a time.
Spirits.
It burns. I feel no breath in my lungs. My chest could be a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, spilling with hot, sickly fluid.
It hurts. Oh, it hurts.
I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with the gap. What? I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with the grasp of my clumsy, slick fingers. It's a mirror. Oh no, it's a mirror! Oh no! Oh. Yeah, definitely. Worried about a gore warning here. This might be bad. It's Marie's floor-length mirror.
Oh no.
Is it gonna show it?
No.
I really don't want it to. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh my god. Hey, don't mind me looking at this, but like, wow. Definitely gore warning. Holy. I'm glad I said that. I'd say we're definitely dead. Is the jaw just missing? What is up with these teeth? Oh my god, no wonder she screamed. Whoa. Oh, it got worse. Oh. Okay. I'm assuming we're gonna go into memories now? I'm in the studio, a dark, dim studio, as empty as it is every night. The curtains are shut, the lamps are unlit. My palette is a mess of murky colors, rust reds, corpse browns. A musky, sickly, sweetly rotting stench fills the room. I don't know why the smell of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. Not memories, okay. The handle of the door turns behind me. Slowly it creaks open and a figure steps inside. Is it us? Oh, yeah. It's me. He limps more than he steps in crooked motions against the floor, dragging his body along like a wet, wide brush as swaths of red pool at his feet. I watch him pull himself before the canvas.
Samuel.
He speaks in my mother's voice, a tone that could swell with warmth or desertion. Derision? Desertion? Command or dependency, pride or disappointment in a moment's notice.
Please, give up your suffering. Give up this. Come back to the earth with me.
My hands are too slick to hold my brush. I stab it into my flesh and fix it between my bones, then dip bristles into his blood.
Sammy.
He speaks in my stepfather's voice, but without laughter or joy. In the same cadence I imagined him taking his last breath, crimson staining his uniform, the dog tags cold around his neck.
Don't suffer anymore, Sam. You are nothing already. Forget your pain. Return to the void with us.
My brush is drying. I plunge it into his chest and wet it with his oily breath.
Sam,
He speaks with my voice, hoarse and raspy and tired, so very, very tired.
this won't make you well. lose no peace, no credits. Come back to our life. End our suffering. You know I don't do so.
I clean my brush with the paint thinner, knocking over the jar as it spills across the drawer and onto the wet, soaking floor. I dry the bristles on my worn, rotting shirt, then soak it in the thick, white mucus of his tears. My words are only partially true, just as his words are not fully wrong. Neither my rotting corpse nor the memory of what once was Sam gain a thing from this toil. I paint the hours away, or perhaps take no time at all. The clock on the wall never turns its hands, suggesting the world lies still. The seconds never pass, and I am the only thing that moves within it. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. Heavy, syrupy tears flood my vision, fill my throat, my chest, choking me. Every movement of my hands leaves cracks in what's left of my brittle bones. He stares at me for a while, silent, still, like a mirror. If I loved him, I would stop. I would crawl to my grave like he wishes. But I love this more than I love myself. Okay. I birth him from within me. As I create, so too am I born.
And he and I are beautiful.
Are we? Ooh, damn. That is beautiful. Dude. That is really pretty. Like, it's rough, but it's gorgeous. Look at that eye with the face. Ending 2, self-portrait. Okay. Interesting. I'm assuming because of that there's more endings. Music, art, and sound designed by Envious? Sorry. Let's see. Cast. Special thank you. Is this different from before? I feel like it is. Okay, let's go gallery. Oh, cool. So this is the thing. Oh, that's her, afraid. That's the one that was on the here. Right, we did not save a single time, so let's start over. I'm gonna skip reading this until we get to new text. Sorry about that, bumped my mic. Okay, last time we painted her hair, so I'm gonna go for her face. I mix a tone as warm as her cheeks as I envision Marie's sweet face in my mind's eye. Her lips like roses, the graceful turn of her nose, those eyes that glittered like stars under candlelight. It's no use. I can't focus. Her features are as blurred in my mind as the mess of oil and pigment smeared across my canvas. I sigh and scrape it off with the palette knife and mix a deep blend of black and red for the background instead. I apply my paint with a generous dab of oil, but it seems I didn't have to. The canvas is still wet from last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background countless times. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight. My muse nowhere in sight is an understatement, of course.
But lately, these nightly hours are the only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes. I had joked that pain had forced me away from the tailor shop. I had joked that the pain that forced me away from the tailor shop meant I could finally return to my paintings at the very least. I was never very good at humor. Marie had sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly in her voice that could charm stone to life.
Oh, Sam, don't worry. I have roles lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably.
I heard a small part of it did, beyond the physical, beyond the ailments, to seek her permission. To be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent but crushingly unknown. Well, she had been. I was, and still am, nothing. But perhaps finally, it would be my turn to bring my vision to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damned much. Time passes and I still don't manage more than a few strokes. A small dark patch over an already wet canvas. Or perhaps time hasn't passed at all. The broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the seconds have lain still, the world outside unchanged, and I, the only thing that moves. Have I moved? Is repeating the same brushstrokes like clockwork dull movement? I shiver and sigh. Perhaps sleep would be a better endeavor. Perhaps the next night will meet more success. I stand, setting outside my paints and palettes, slowly to move to shut the windows. I stop. There, out in the front garden, lit by street lamp, stands a figure that could only be Marie. She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad-shouldered. Then she laughs, a beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him before he makes his reluctant exit on a carriage stopped by the gate. For a moment, I don't know what to think. A friend, a co-star, perhaps. That amiable tenor she mentioned every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Marie's social circle had always eclipsed my own. It must be, but why would he come to our home? And why would she laugh that way? In the garden, in the midst of walking to the front door, humming to herself, Marie suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide as she blinks, as if shaking herself from a daze. I instinctively step back from the windows. Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Marie is finally home, and oh, I've missed her so. How could the first thing I think upon seeing my darling be the worst thoughts my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I'll prepare Marie for a pot of her favorite chamomile tea. I'll listen as she tells me of the nights, the theater, the 1,000 small anecdotes that she never runs out of, and maybe, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me, like she used to. The house feels larger than it used to. Perhaps I was shut in the studio too long. Still, how could I possibly be a stranger in my own home? The memories are fuzzy, the years blur together like a wash of oil colors. My mother and I, carrying our sparse luggage, stepping inside for the first time. My stepfather, laughing, his elbows on the breakfast table, chattering over something he'd read in the paper. Then silent hallways and empty rooms. And then myself, welcoming the new bride to these solitary halls, hanging our newly taken portraits above the mantel. The walls are barren now. I feel the walls in the dark, sticky, leaving trails of paint behind, tracing the places I used to hang. We're gonna remember to save it. Save. Okay, Return. So we said photos, let's go with paintings. The paintings I'd framed, the seaside landscape I painted on our honeymoon, the watercolor sketch of Marie that couldn't hope to capture the sheen of her hair. The still life of candles and flowers that had wilted because I took so long to finish. Even the painting of roses in a vase, the first gift I had ever given her.
I wanted to bring you some flowers.
You painted that. That beautiful stuff.
The naked walls stare blankly at me. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. Is it going to be the same text again? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and skip until something happens. Okay, so we're going to save here too. Return. We let her go last time, so I don't want to, but we'll force the door open.
No. Not until you tell me what's going on. Are you leaving me, darling? After everything? I need you. I need you!
Oh god. My darling utters a sharp cry as the hinges groan against the frame, loosening her grip as she stumbles back into the cobblestone path. I instantly forget her sharp words as I limp towards her side.
Marie, are you alright? I'm so sorry.
Stop it, Sam.
Is she gonna open her eyes? Okay.
I'll keep you alive. Every time I sing, I'll sing for you. I'll keep you in my song, in my art.
Oh, but it hurts. Her shrill voice grates against the ooze spilling forth from my ears.
It hurts. It hurts!
My head rings, my chest as a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, flowing with hot, sickly fluid. I cough and spew more syrupy, warm liquid from my lips.
Your art, it was always about you. Your voice, your needs, your wants, your desires.
You were a work of art, of course. But did you ever think about me? Did you ever think about poor Sam dying alone in a cold, white room? Poor Sam, who couldn't even hold a brush in his hands at the end.
Wow.
Poor Sam, left to rot into nothing.
Damn, dude.
A year was all it took for you to forget me.
Oh. I am shaking her, leaving smears of dark, muddy paint all over her pale shoulders. It's not paint, buddy. The next moment, she breaks from me, running blindly into the street. Oh, no. I was worried about that as soon as I saw street. Oh, God. Yeah, I was right the first time. Don't fucking force it open. The carriage doesn't stop for her. Of course it doesn't. My dearest was a wisp of dark curls, a black gown billowing in the night like a shade. She should be as light as breath, soft as mist. I'm gonna go with another gore warning coming up. Oh my god, bloody wheel. But the song that comes from the scream of her breaking bones, her ripping flesh, the breath that leaves her lungs.
But every sound my darling makes is beautiful.
That's messed up, man. What am I looking at? Okay, this is her face. Here's her. I'm guessing this is her back? Can we, like, oh wait, I need to read that. I scoop her massive flesh and deep crimson hair in my arms. Okay, yeah. Her blood pools around me, syrupy and dark, a color so deep no artist pigment could hope to capture. The pure scarlet or vermilion red, a dull stain in comparison. It is not Sam that I see staring back in the deep pool of our blood. Here he is again. Oh? Okay. My darling is a lovely creature, even broken. I gently carry her up the steps, one slick, damp, crooked step at a time, setting her massive jutted bone, and a viscera and flesh, on the velvet seat in my studio. Oh, please don't paint her like that. The fabric soaks it deep, so very deep. It's dark, as it is every night. I leave the lamps unlit and the window shut tight. How strange that the scent of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. My darling sits still, ever so still, not a breath escaping her broken flesh. What a lovely model, oh, what a wonderful thing.
All the more beautiful now that it surely hurts the same.
You're fucked up, man. There he is.
It is agony to hold the brush. It always does. And I can wait. After all, who can truly create without pain?
Oh, that is... Oh, it was beautiful. How do we get it to give us a normal painting of her? Ending 1, Muse. Okay. So we've got endings 1 and 2. How many endings are there? Oh, God. Oh! There's nothing. So I guess we're just missing this one? Oh, hey, it did give us this, though. Okay. So there's not... Ooh. Okay. Interesting. But you don't change, right? No. It's beautiful. To that. Okay. Oh wait, no. Go back. We're just gonna skip until we get all the endings so we know what happens. Hang on a second. This is different. Okay. I step through the darkness of the house, inch by inch, choking back dust and tears that threatened to spill. It'd been months since I last stepped foot in here, but every floorboard, every turn of its halls are familiar to me, as within the sunlight which once shone through the windows. Sam always... Oh, shit, is this from her perspective? Oh, okay. Sam always opened the windows when he worked in his studio. No matter the weather, no matter how rainy or freezing cold. The same windows that are now open. The same windows that now were open, gaping from the garden outside. Someone has been through this house. Everything of value I had taken Everything of value I had taken with me months ago, of course. But though I could not bear to stay here any longer, I could bear even less to let this place go. I, Sam, had... Okay, so this is Sam's perspective. What is going on? I, Sam, had grown up here. What? Okay. This place meant so much to him, and I had so many memories housed here deep within its walls. I didn't mean to spend less and less time within them. As the years went on, I didn't mean to give Sam less and less. I'm confused. Is this her perspective? It feels like her perspective. Am I just dumb? Okay, I guess we'll just keep reading and find out. But I did. And then he was gone. My heels... I don't know. My heels clack against the wooden floorboards as my steps echo in the dark. I stop at the doorway of the kitchen. That old rickety shelf gapes out empty, while the walnut table silently stands beneath the muffled sheet. On Sundays, when he wasn't off to the tailor's at the crack of dawn, we would have breakfast together. So it is her perspective. Okay. I think. I hope. I don't know. Probably. I think I'm just dumb. I remember how he'd sit at the table, combing through the newspaper, carefully clipping out any news photographs of me that appeared. It is her perspective. Okay. A small sound snaps me out of my memories. Muffled footsteps, not mine. A voice calling my name. My heart stops in my chest. I swear I can hear it. Him. Not the academy student in a hand-me-down green coat full of life, nor the man who waited by my dressing room with roses, almost too shy to present them to me. And not the man in the paint-stained apron, hunched over a canvas, eyes locked in concentration. The owner of this voice cannot be that man, but it has his voice, calling out to me. My mind is playing tricks on me. It can't be. Holding my candlestick tightly, I slowly approach the staircase.
Sam?
I call, peering into the darkness above me. The outline of a figure stands, its movement slow and haggard.
Is it a dream?
The shape in the darkness coughs and coughs again in wretched pain. I choke back my own sobs in my throat.
Is it a good dream, darling?
He finally says.
I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare.
As the figure steps into view, I blink against the flickering candlelight and finally look at him. My darling, oh, my poor, poor, precious Sam. No, what's left of him. We save is what we do. So this is what she does in this story, normally. I'm gonna click the red one to find out. Jesus.
Love you, Sam.
Fuck, did I miss something? Okay, we're good. I say through my tears, climbing the staircase, one shaking step at a time.
I always will.
My arms meet rotten fabric and broken flesh. My lips meet bone and blood. Take me with you. I try to speak, but gag.
Don't cry, darling. No matter what troubles you, I am here.
He's gotta smell horrible. Okay. Singer found dead. What? Beloved soprano Marie Claremont's body found in former residence. Marty Rue something. Acclaimed opera singer. Found dead in her former residence on something yesterday by somebody after the former failed to show up to the performance at the theater something last night. The police, I'm guessing, are currently investigating. Claremont was widowed after her husband, Samuel, only 1 year prior. The pair had no children. A memorial service will be held. Da-da-da-da. Ending 3. No 3. Okay. So what if we go back here and we just scream? That's it? What? Okay. Strange. I guess we click start and find out what happens now. This is different, right? Every night I find myself alone in the studio, curtains drawn tight, my neat rows of paints, palette and brushes in the same place on the drawer by the easel. As always, unfinished. Silent song. Okay. Paint her face. The paintings. Let her go.
Forgive me, Marie. I can see, but whatever you do, whatever this is.
Okay, did we complete it? We got all the gallery stuff. Extras. Oh. That's where all that was. Okay. Is that it? Hang on, I'm gonna pull up, I guess we're just gonna pop back over to the chatting screen while I look and see how many endings there are. I've gotta find Google real quick. It paints me. Alright, I found their website. 3 endings. Okay, so we did find everything. Okay, cool. So... wow, that that was a game. I'm gonna see if I can find some analysis.
I don't know if there is one. Okay, cool. So... Okay. I think we pretty much figured out what was happening by the end of it. It was a really... It's really pretty. Like, well... Yeah. It's gory. But, like, the roughness of the art really, really works for it. It's a very, very interesting story. It is a short game, admittedly. I think I've only been live for an hour. We might... What time is it? 10 o'clock? Or no, it's 11. We might find another game to play before I go off tonight. Let's see. God, do I want to put the page on the screen? Is there anyone watching? Nah. Okay, let's see. I'm almost tempted to end the stream, just keep the two games separate, because I like to keep stuff like that, so, like, when I upload it, the VODs to YouTube, they're nice and organized. So we might go ahead and end the stream and then just restart it. But I guess we can look for stuff here because it's easier to set the category that way. So, if I click this, it just gives a black screen. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open itch.io and pray it doesn't show me weird things. Well, at the very least, the cover should be fine. I hope. Search for visual novel. Here we go. Story Rich. Let's look at the tags. Actually, really quick, we're gonna pop this. Where's it at? Window capture. No, other window capture. Not this window capture, it's the wrong window capture. Where's it at? Mic, display, window capture 2. Okay, here we go, I found it. Chrome, here we go. Alright. Let's find some interesting... Puzzle sounds really interesting, but I'm also really bad at puzzles. So, I mean, dating sims are fun, but I don't know. Maybe if it was like an interesting one, I will definitely take recommendations on stuff I should play. Female protagonist. Let's pop over to puzzle. This might take me a little longer. Ooh, hey. Ooh, 6 cats under? That looks cute. That feels like a dead dog game. Home Snatch. Good morning. This looks cute. Ooh, this is really pretty. Mourn continue. Wow. That's something. This looks really pretty though. Ooh, what's it about? Also, subjective interpretations of angels, or maybe contents of blood. Okay. I don't care so much about like gory things. I just want to avoid like the NSFW, like, you know, type stuff. But I think... Oh, translations. We found the run. Interesting. 30 to 40 minutes. Nope, there's only 2 endings. So it's like 80 minutes. So
little over an hour. That put us at 12:40. I mean, I'm definitely gonna save this because I think that would be a fun. Actually, why don't I just download it? Download. We are not a Mac computer. Cool. Okay. Home Safety Hotline, $14. I would rather not spend money right now. Let's see. That looks really cute. Feedvid Live. Oh, that's gonna make me a little too paranoid. Sheep and lips. Mass. Let's see. This looks cool. What are you about? An exorcist that doubts the existence of a ghost might sound contradictory. Approximately half hour. Okay. 3 endings. Ooh, hey, we can walk around in this one? Oh, this is gonna take me so long. Having to wait 3 days to continue a game. Okay. I think we'll definitely play this sometime. Is there not a download? Download. Development log. Okay, this might be a browser game actually. Do those options. Okay, so I'm gonna this and pop it over here. Okay. And let's see. This is cute. Oh my god, is it creepy? Oh god, it's gonna take me like several hours if it's an escape room. It's very cute. Where's your playtime? Do you have a playtime? I don't think you do. Oh god, 2 hours? I mean, that's definitely better. Oh my god, there's so many cool things. Love Live X Ace Attorney? Interesting. What? I'm curious on what this is. What's your gender? Just kidding. What's up to gender and identity? Bad game? Damn. What? Okay. I've seen these. Hang on, they scroll down. Bad Ending Theater! Oh, that would be so much fun. It's also taking a Rapunzel horror game. Hey, puzzle game with horror-based elements. Interesting. You know, I think we'll go with this one for tonight. Okay. Translated. Okay, so I'm assuming it's this one. Cool. Alright. We are gonna go ahead and end. Oh, right. Let's. Chatting. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and end this stream so that it would be separate from the second game. And then I'm going to restart this in a few minutes. Gonna get a new drink, probably use the bathroom in that time too. So, I'll see you guys in a bit.